I'm Mike Uyak. I love to try new things, and I've had culinary adventures all around the world, as well as right at home. I've had really wonderful food, as well as some really horrible food. I'd like to share some of my adventures with you, and we'll see if I have what it takes to fix whatever goes wrong. This is Recipe Redemption.
Greetings and salutations, Redeemers, and welcome back to my kitchen. Recently, perusing the aisles of my local international grocery store in the European aisle, and I ran across something that I had to try. I had to. It's so attractively packaged. It's Army brand, whatever that means, Army brand Officers Pork Loaf. Now, there were several different cans of mystery meat under the Army brand. This is a Polish product. There were several different varieties. There was a Sergeant's pork pate. There was a chopped pork patty, P-A-T-T-I-E is the way they spelled it. Patty loaf. I'm not 100% sure how it can be a patty and a loaf at the same time, but whatever. And then there was the Officers Pork Loaf. And I figure officers probably eat the best. I'm going to try the best. I haven't been able to find this is imported and distributed by Square Enterprises. And they have a number of other products out there as well. I've done a little research. But in my research, I have not found any evidence that Army brand canned pork products are actually served to the Polish Army. It wouldn't be a surprise. I've seen in a lot of foreign MRE type packages that they have canned meats, usually things like deviled chicken, deviled hams, things like that. And Spam is or a Spam-like product would not be amiss. So that's kind of what I expect this to be like. Is basically like Spam. The ingredients read pork meat, pork skins, water, salt, roasted onion, black pepper, paprika, pimento, and marjoram. So all fairly reasonable ingredients. Probably going to be a little high on the salt content. Yeah, sodium's 440 milligrams per 2-ounce serving, and there's like 7 servings in this one can. So yeah, gonna need to drink some water, but nothing for it. And I was curious. Well, one, because it's an attractive camouflage can, but also I was kind of intrigued by the verbiage that they have on the can. Refrigerate after opening. Best to serve chilled. Yeah. It's got the smell of all the finest cat foods in the land. Now it smells like canned meat. Here, have a look. So, bit of protein jelly. So this was undoubtedly canned hot. And usually what you get is all the lovely juices that kind of get pressed out of it in the cooking process. When they cool, they congeal. So it shows there's a lot of protein. There's a little bit of fat here. I'm actually kind of surprised. A lot of these canned meat products, a lot of times they'll have like a solid layer of fat that's kind of congealed on top, and there's only a little bit here. It's fairly dense. So the pork loaf, it looks a little bit grainy, maybe slightly less processed than Spam typically is. You can still see chunks in it. well, nothing for it. But yeah, here's actual like a solid chunk of pork. Which may be a good thing, actually. I mean, you can tell that it's actually meat and not some, mystery filler ingredient. But best served chilled. I'll be the judge of that. This does put me in mind of, like deviled chicken, deviled ham. It's actually not as salty as Spam. Surprisingly, it is actually fairly mild, all things considered. I'm not sure I agree that it's best served chilled. Part of me really wants to heat this up. You know what? Let's just see what it tastes like heated. Okay. Just pried a few chunks out, put it on a plate, and threw it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And you can tell there's a lot of fat in it because it started hissing and spitting right away. Yes. Significantly better when heated. Not a bad product. Not something that I would line up to eat. Certainly not on a regular basis. But to have around, and particularly for like survival rations, canned goods stay good for a long time. This had a stamp on it saying Best by September of 2020. So it doesn't keep that long, but I'm sure it keeps longer than the Best By date. But if you were to keep this on the shelf for emergency situations, for if there's an earthquake or a flood or something, power goes out and you don't have anything to eat, you can eat this cold. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's much better heated. And just having it around doesn't necessarily have to be an emergency, just you need something to eat and there's nothing else in the cupboard. It's a decent thing to eat. It's not that bad. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. So, Army brand Officer's Pork Loaf. Thumbs up. It's actually surprisingly good. I know that a lot of Spam devotees will be shocked to hear me say that this is in some ways better than Spam. In terms of, for me, texture, it's not quite as processed as Spam. It's not so finely ground, so you can tell that there's still chunks of actual meat. It's not quite as salty. On the other hand, because it is sort of a chopped loaf, it's a little more difficult if you wanted to slice it and grill it or something like that, or do like Spam musubi or something like that if you were of a mind. So it depends on what you want to use it for. Spam has its purposes, so does this. And my cats were quite interested when I opened the can too. I had to kind of shoo them out of the way. So if nothing else, if you can't palate it, I'm sure they could. It's all natural ingredients, nothing really surprising in here, so you could actually feed it to your dog or cat, I suppose. But I don't see any reason why you wouldn't feed it to yourself. So, with that, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for new episodes that I'll have coming. I have some real doozies coming up in the next few days, so stay tuned, and I'll see you later.